When we accept the incredible gift of salvation, we don't just gain a new outlook on life, we're also welcomed into an amazing relationship with God. It's a relationship that's intimate and life-changing. We get to see God not just as our Creator, but as our loving Father, and we become His children. And like any close relationship, communication is key. We reach out to God through prayer, and He reaches back, guiding us and speaking to us in ways that resonate deeply within. The beautiful truth is that every single believer has the ability to hear from God. But here's the question: are we tuned in? God is always speaking, whether it's through a quiet inner voice, a vivid dream, the beauty around us, or even through other people. The Bible is full of stories of God speaking to people just like us. From prophets to ordinary folks, God has always reached out to guide, teach, and encourage His people. Sometimes, though, we miss His voice because we're just not paying attention, or maybe we're unsure that it's really Him speaking. Think of Samuel, the prophet. He heard God calling but didn't realize it was Him at first. He even thought it was his mentor, Eli. It took a few tries before Samuel finally understood that it was God reaching out to him. I think many of us are just like Samuel in that moment. God may be speaking to us, but we're not sure it's Him. We might even brush it off as coincidence or just our own thoughts. One of the ways God gets our attention is through physical signs, things we can feel or see that draw us closer to Him. Today, let's explore 10 physical signs that God might be speaking to you. But before we start, remember to like and share this video, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. These 10 physical signs are His gentle way of calling us closer, helping us to open our hearts and listen. Waking up in the middle of the night. Have you ever found yourself waking up suddenly in the middle of the night, your mind surprisingly alert, and the clock reads 3 or maybe 5 a.m.? You try to fall back asleep, but it just doesn't happen, leaving you feeling a bit restless and wondering why you're awake at such an odd hour. Instead of feeling frustrated, what if you saw this as a moment orchestrated by God, a gentle nudge, inviting you into a quiet space to be with Him? During the day, life is full. There's the constant hum of responsibilities, conversations, and the endless to-do list. Our thoughts race, and it can feel like there's no room to pause. But in those quiet early hours, when the world is still and distractions fade, God may be calling you to a time of peace and communion with Him. It's like He's saying, "Come away with me for a moment. Let's talk, just you and me." Jesus knew the importance of these still moments. He often rose early, seeking solitude to connect with His Father, away from the noise. If you find yourself waking up in the dead of night, why not take that time to open your heart to God? It could be as simple as whispering a prayer, or even just sitting in silence, asking Him to speak. You might be surprised by the peace that comes over you. Maybe there's something on your heart that you haven't had time to think about, or worries that linger at the edges of your mind. This quiet time could be when God is gently inviting you to hand those over to Him, to let go and trust Him with every detail. Or, perhaps, there's a question you've been pondering, and He's ready to give you clarity. When you wake up, take a deep breath, embrace the stillness, and ask, "Lord, what would you like to say to me tonight?" God's presence is closer than we often realize, especially in those still, quiet moments when we're alone with Him. And when you feel His peace surrounding you in the middle of the night, it's a reminder that He's watching over you, that He knows your heart, and that He cares enough to meet you right where you are, even at 3 a.m. So next time this happens, take it as a loving invitation to draw near, to let your spirit rest in His presence, and to listen to His voice. Feeling anxious or restless for no reason. Sometimes, out of nowhere, a wave of anxiety can wash over us, leaving us feeling unsettled and uneasy. You're not sure where it's coming from, but you can feel it, a tightness in your chest, a fluttering in your stomach, or just an overwhelming sense that something isn't right. But what if that restlessness is actually a signal, a gentle reminder that God is reaching out to you? He's promised us a peace that transcends understanding, a peace that calms our hearts even in the middle of life's storms. So when that peace seems absent, it could be a sign that something's a bit out of sync in our spiritual life. Jesus knows us so intimately, and in Matthew 11:28, he extends an invitation that's as powerful today as it was back then. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. If you're carrying anxiety that doesn't seem to have a cause, it might be God's gentle way of inviting you to come closer, to lay those worries down and let Him carry them for you. Maybe you've been carrying something heavy on your heart, a worry, a fear, or a decision you've been struggling with. God may be using that feeling of restlessness to draw you back to Him, reminding you that you don't have to bear it alone. Picture yourself handing over each worry, each anxious thought, and letting them go into His capable hands. Feel the weight lift as you trust that He's got you, that He's holding you, and that there's no burden too big for Him to handle. Sometimes a restless heart is God's nudge, a call to reconnect and refocus on His presence. It's His loving way of saying, "Come back to me. I have peace for you, even in this." When you start feeling that familiar sense of unease, take a moment to pause and turn your heart toward Him. Breathe in, let His peace fill you, and rest in the assurance that you are safe with Him. God's peace is waiting for you, and He's always ready to surround you with His calming presence whenever you need it. Hearing the same message over and over. Have you ever had a certain topic or phrase just keep popping up, as if it's following you everywhere you go? Maybe it's a message you hear in a sermon, a theme that keeps coming up in conversations with friends, or something you keep stumbling upon on social media. You're going about your day, and there it is again. You might even find yourself thinking, "This can't be a coincidence." And you'd be right. Sometimes God uses repetition to capture our attention and drive a message home. When you notice a message or theme showing up repeatedly, it could be God whispering something important to your heart, a reminder that He has something He wants you to focus on. Perhaps there's a lesson He wants to teach you, a truth He wants to plant deeply in your heart, or a change He's gently prompting you to make. Rather than brushing it off, pause and ask Him, "Lord, what are you trying to show me here?" Think of it as if God is putting up signposts along your path, lovingly guiding you towards something He knows you need. He's so patient with us, often repeating His messages until we're ready to receive them fully. When you feel that gentle nudge through repetition, let it be a reminder that God cares so much about you that He's willing to speak again and again, just to make sure you're listening. Take a moment to thank Him for this persistent, loving guidance. Ask for His wisdom to understand the message and how it applies to your life. You might even want to pray, "Lord, I hear you. Show me what I need to see and give me the courage to act on it." Trust that He'll reveal the next steps in His timing, and let your heart rest in the assurance that God's speaking to you patiently and lovingly every step of the way. Experiencing illness as a reminder. Facing illness is never easy, and it can be a tough, isolating experience. But what if, during these challenging times, God is using your illness to gently draw you closer to Him, inviting you to reflect and realign your heart? Not all sickness is from God, but He can certainly use it as a powerful way to get our attention and guide us toward a deeper connection with Him. Throughout the Bible, we see Jesus performing countless healings, bringing hope and restoration to those who were suffering. And there were moments when illness was more than just physical, it was an opportunity for spiritual growth. For example, Jesus once told a man he had healed, "Stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you." In this case, The man's physical healing was also a reminder to reflect on his life and turn toward God with a renewed heart. When illness comes, it's a moment to lean into God's strength, to ask, "Lord, what are you teaching me through this season?" Sometimes, He uses our pain to slow us down, giving us the chance to examine our lives and draw closer to Him. And while it's comforting to know that not every illness has a hidden purpose, there are times when God may be using this season to bring about a change in your heart or to redirect your path. Listen to those gentle promptings, whether it's a call to let go of something weighing you down, to forgive someone, or to trust Him with your future. In these quiet, challenging moments, God is there, wrapping you in His love and reminding you that you're never alone. He's with you, helping you to see beyond the pain and find comfort in His presence. Let this time be a reminder that God can bring beauty even from our struggles, using every moment to draw us into a deeper, richer relationship with Him. Opportunities and doors opening or closing. Have you ever been praying for guidance, hoping for a sign on what to do next, and suddenly you start to notice doors opening or maybe closing in your life? These changes can feel unexpected, but they may actually be God's way of directing your steps, answering your prayers in a way that guides you exactly where you need to be. Sometimes, He gently opens a door, leading us toward a new opportunity or a fresh path. Other times, He closes a door, and while that can be difficult to accept, it might be His loving way of steering us away from something that isn't right for us. When we're asking for guidance, it's easy to look for grand, obvious signs. But God's voice often comes in the quiet moments, through circumstances that may seem ordinary at first glance. His timing is always perfect, even when we don't fully understand it in the moment. Take Moses, for example, when he led the Israelites out of Egypt. They found themselves trapped between Pharaoh's army and the Red Sea, and it seemed like there was no way forward. But God showed up in a miraculous way, parting the sea and making a way where there seemed to be none. He used what was already in Moses' hand, a simple staff, to accomplish something incredible. In your life, God might be using what's right in front of you to show you the way forward. Pay close attention to these signs, especially when they come as answers to your prayers. An unexpected job opportunity, a new friendship, or even a closed door can be His way of guiding you. When a door closes, instead of feeling discouraged, trust that God is redirecting you toward something better, something aligned with His plan for you. These moments are reminders that God sees the bigger picture, that He knows what's best for you even when it's hard to see. When you sense an opportunity opening up, embrace it with gratitude and ask God to show you the next steps. And if a door closes, remember that it's a loving reminder to trust in His timing. God is always moving, always guiding, and His plans are for your good. A deep, unexplainable peace. Life can throw storms our way, bringing chaos and uncertainty. In these moments, it's natural to feel fear, anxiety, or even panic. But sometimes, in the midst of it all, there's an unexpected calm, a deep, unexplainable peace that fills your heart and settles your mind. It's a peace that doesn't seem to make sense given the circumstances. When you feel this kind of peace, it's likely a sign that God is right there with you, reminding you that He's in control and that you're not facing this alone. Philippians 4:7 speaks of a peace that transcends all understanding, a peace that goes beyond logic and reason. It's a gift from God that wraps around us, comforting and reassuring us, even when everything around us feels out of control. This peace is like a gentle whisper from God, telling you that everything is going to be okay, that He's got you in His hands, and that no storm is too big for Him to calm. When this peace washes over you, take a moment to embrace it. Let it remind you that God is actively working on your behalf, even if you can't see the outcome yet. It's His way of saying, "I'm here. I've got this. You're safe with me." In those moments, it's like being held close, surrounded by a love that quiets all fear. This peace doesn't mean the challenges disappear instantly, but it does mean that, in the middle of it all, you can stand firm, knowing that God's presence is stronger than any storm. It's a reminder that He's right beside you, guiding you through whatever comes your way. When you feel this calm in the midst of chaos, let it be an anchor for your soul. God's peace is a gift that reminds us that we are never alone, that we are deeply loved, and that with Him, we can face anything. Confirming words from people around you. Have you ever been wrestling with a decision, seeking God's direction, and then someone says something that just resonates so deeply, almost like they're speaking directly into your heart? It could be a friend offering advice, a pastor's sermon that feels tailored just for you, or even a stranger whose words seem to pierce right through your confusion. These moments are often God's way of reaching out to you, using the people around you to bring clarity, encouragement, and peace. God loves to work through relationships. He knows the people He's placed in your life, and He can use their words to echo what He's already been whispering to your spirit. When you're feeling uncertain or in need of reassurance, pay attention to those around you. If their words align with what you've been praying about, or they reflect a desire in your heart, take it as a beautiful reminder that God hears you and is guiding you, even through the voices of others. Sometimes, we need an outside perspective to help us see things clearly, and God, in His love, provides exactly that. These confirming words are His way of reminding you that you're not alone, that He sees your heart, and that He's actively involved in your life. So when someone's words touch a place deep within you, pause for a moment. Thank God for speaking to you through them, and ask for wisdom to understand how to respond. Let it be a reminder that God is not only close, but He's also using the community around you to guide and uplift you. He's reminding you that He's walking beside you every step of the way, and He's using others to bring you comfort, clarity, and hope. Dreams with powerful messages. Have you ever woken up from a dream that felt incredibly vivid, almost like it held a hidden meaning just for you? Dreams can be one of the ways God reaches us, speaking to our hearts when we're most open, quiet, and receptive. Throughout the Bible, there are beautiful stories where God used dreams to communicate powerful messages, from Joseph in Egypt, who received dreams that shaped nations, to Joseph, the earthly father of Jesus, who was guided by dreams to protect his family. These dreams weren't random. They were filled with purpose, messages meant to encourage, guide, and prepare. When you experience a dream that stands out, that leaves a lasting impression on your heart, consider it an invitation from God. Take a moment to write it down, even if the details seem unclear at first. Sometimes it's in the quiet reflection afterward, in the time spent praying over the dream, that God begins to unfold its meaning. Ask Him, "Lord, what are you saying to me through this? What do you want me to see?" God can use dreams to reveal things about our lives, our futures, or even to bring comfort and hope in a season of waiting. Maybe He's using a dream to encourage you, showing you a glimpse of what He has in store. Or perhaps He's preparing you for something that's coming, equipping you with strength and wisdom through the visions He shares in the night. Keep your heart open to what He may want to reveal, and trust that He speaks to us in ways that are personal and filled with love. Dreams can be like whispers from heaven, messages that gently touch our souls and remind us of God's intimate involvement in our lives. When you feel that your dream carries a special message, let it be a reminder that God is watching over you, guiding you even as you rest. Embrace these dreams as gifts, as opportunities to hear from God in a unique and meaningful way. A strong urge to help someone. Have you ever felt an unexpected, powerful urge to reach out and help someone? Maybe it's a friend who suddenly comes to mind, or you notice someone struggling and feel a deep pull to step in. This isn't just a passing thought. This is often God nudging you to be His hands and feet, to reflect His love in a tangible way. These moments are special, a chance to let God's compassion flow through you and touch someone else's life. Whether it's reaching out with a simple text to check on a friend, offering a listening ear to someone who seems down, or even giving to someone in need, these nudges can be God's way of inviting you to be a vessel of His love. When you feel that inner prompting, don't ignore it. Take a moment to pause and ask, Lord, how can I show your love to this person right now? By responding to these urges, you're allowing God to work through you, bringing His light into someone else's life. These nudges aren't just random thoughts. They're often God's way of saying, I see this person, and I want to reach them through you. When you act on that prompting, you become a part of God's beautiful plan, a living expression of His care and compassion. You never know how much a small act of love can mean to someone else. And by saying yes to these moments, you're stepping into a calling that goes beyond yourself. You're becoming a part of something greater, God's incredible plan to reach the world with His love, one caring act at a time. Unexpected encounters or divine appointments. Have you ever had one of those moments where you just happened to cross paths with someone and it feels like they were sent into your life at exactly the right time? Maybe you're going through something difficult, and a stranger or a friend shares a few words of encouragement that seem to speak directly to your heart. Or perhaps they say something that answers a question you've been wrestling with. These moments aren't just coincidences. They're what many of us call divine appointments. God has an amazing way of arranging these encounters, of placing people in our lives right when we need them most. He knows exactly what you're going through, and He cares deeply. When you experience one of these divine appointments, take a moment to recognize it for the gift it truly is. Thank God for orchestrating that meeting, for sending you a reminder that He sees you and is actively guiding your steps. These encounters are His way of showing you that He's involved in every detail of your life. They serve as gentle reminders that He's walking alongside you, holding your hand, and leading you, even when things feel uncertain. When you open your heart to these moments, you'll start to see how beautifully God weaves people into your story, often at the most unexpected times. So the next time you find yourself in a meaningful conversation with a stranger or a friend just happens to say exactly what you needed to hear, embrace it as a divine appointment. Let it fill you with the assurance that God is with you, that He's actively working behind the scenes, bringing the right people into your life to encourage, support, and uplift you. And remember, you might even be someone else's divine appointment. By being open and receptive to these encounters, you're allowing God's love to flow through you, making a difference not only in your own life, but in the lives of those you meet along the way. As we've seen, God speaks to us in countless ways, and He often uses these physical signs to draw us closer to Him. Whether His voice is loud and clear or gentle and subtle, the important thing is that we listen. And when we start paying attention to these divine moments, we open our hearts to a deeper, more intimate relationship with God. But if you're looking for even more ways to unlock your spiritual potential and deepen your faith, there's a powerful tool that can help you tune into God's voice like never before, but few people really know about it. So, if you're ready to take the next step in your spiritual journey, click on the video on your screen now to learn how to unlock the spiritual power of fasting. Thank you for watching. Please like and share the video, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring messages. May God bless you abundantly.